And we're live.
Hello, everybody. We are on an episode of Script Corners where we are covering while Charlatan Warrior is wrong about Doom Eternal.
Should we get airborne?
Airborne's not going to be here for a while.
Okay, replica. Wait, no. Anyways, let's get on with it.
Okay. Yeah. I think 2 people is enough.
So, shall we get on with it?
I already said yes.
Okay, let's go.
TLDW, the game is overdone and poorly balanced. If you're on the fence about this, just replay Doom 2016 and wait for a sale. Okay.
What? Huh? How is it poorly balanced? 2016 is horribly balanced.
I'm more concerned about the fact that he said just go play 2016, wait until Doom Eternal is on sale.
Yeah, I'm focusing on his statement on the balancing, because the balancing in Doom 2016 isn't really that good.
Siege mode?
Yeah, and 60 shell double barrel shotgun.
The shotgun
How is
the shotgun is less bad than...
Yeah. Like, even though the 2016 shotgun has more bullets, like shells, I would take Eternals way over it because of the meat hook. That's much more useful.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't. Imagine saying 2016 is well balanced, but then saying Eternal isn't. That's just a ludicrous statement. Okay. Well, did you catch anything else he said? Because he kind of just like started it out, giving a bunch of random statements.
Let's at least try and get to the minute mark before we start berating him.
Yeah.
Okay, let us go.
Okay, now that all the people who are just gonna disliking leave have been sated, let's have a big boy talk. Doom 2016 is a genuine masterpiece of game design, and having it be both a hardcore experience and talk.
Gotta love when that happens.
Talk.
Because
Doom 2016 is a genuine masterpiece of game design, and having...
No. 2016 is good, but just no.
It's not a masterpiece.
Yeah. That's just... Okay. Well,
I'm gonna need to get ME6 set up so that it can actually have announcements on this server. Not sure how to, but
yeah.
we'll find
we'll
out.
do that after. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It be both a hardcore experience and a fun time simultaneously. Doom Eternal is labeled as a masterpiece on Steam thanks to id Software and Bethesda's marketing teams knowing how to conduct the hype train straight into pre-order station. Doom Eternal is a good lesson in success being the worst teacher. It's a good game, but since the predecessor was immaculate, id Software had no idea what to work on or improve and ended up putting their efforts into places where everything was already just right the way.
Pause. Okay, so in Doom Eternal, let's see what they improved. They improved the combat. They improved balancing. They improved the weapons. They improved the environments. They improved the story. What else did they do, General?
So much more.
Yeah, that's like just the Cliff Notes version. You could go so much more in depth.
I could talk about how the plasma rifle is a lot better in Doom Eternal than it was in Doom 2016, or how the siege mode is no longer in the game.
Yeah. Like, he's kind of just making statements and then just like moving on, hoping that the gullible viewer that doesn't know anything will just take it.
He's a clickbaiter.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest, that's why this video was made. Oh, Airborne!
Hey,
You
Yeah,
joined.
who-
You joined right in time for the fireworks.
So far he said that the game is worse balanced and it they didn't improve anything from 2016.
oh, great.
Get in the watch
And,
together.
and that the only reason it's highly rated on Steam is because of pre-orders.
And the marketing.
That makes no sense. But all right.
Yeah.
And
That's-
now it's all overdone. Oh, and real quick, I know I said one of my upcoming videos was meant to...
Are we really gonna go on another 10-minute rant about the combat of this guy?
Oh boy. Yes,
do we
sadly,
really
yes.
want to Do we really want to reenact Doom Should Be Simple?
Oh no.
Doom should be simple. We just saw Doom Slayer shooting demons like a regular guy, and now all of these hell priests talk like weird Shakespeare robots.
Oh god. Oh,
And you don't have any ammo.
And you don't have any ammo. It's like there's
Amarada.
it's kind of like it kind of mirrors Cosmonaut saying you don't have any character traits.
Look in the corner right there. Just a captive demon. That's my
Oh,
reaction. That's my reaction to this video.
Hornet's Nest, not it. In fact, I have to go back and rewrite certain portions of that video now that I've played Doom Eternal. I had no advanced access to this game, and if anything, the video that's intended to be a real fire starter is going to have to come out a bit later, but I think I'll have the time.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I think I'll have the time.
I look forward to all the lovely DMs I'm going to get between these two videos, which, by the way, did you know this channel has a Discord that's open to anyone? Perhaps we wanted this hashtag masterpiece so badly that we willingly looked past a bunch of red flags that were clear,
Yeah, I think
present,
he's
and
just
even
doing
brought
this
up
for
by a few
attention. He's like, oh hey, did you know I have a Discord? Hey, did you know my DMs are open? Hey.
Hey, guess what? I'm gonna get flooded with a bunch of autistic people who like
Yeah,
Doom Eternal.
He's doing the upper echelon technique.
Yeah.
Airborne.
Bro, debate me 1v1.
Airborne. Just to let you know, Kurt's and my thing is sometimes going through your mic.
Yeah.
Just to inform you.
My bad. Let me fix that.
I might turn on noise. Oh wait. Okay, I'm gonna leave the call for a second to make sure noise suppression is good.
No, it's probably me. Alright.
Okay. There we go. Now let's.
people who were shout. The first red flag was that all the early trailers were bullshot. In fact, I learned that
How?
Like-
How?
What he means is that all the trailers weren't actually real gameplay. It was a bot doing it, which is something that got levied against E3s.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna guess what even Act Man did is that in the trailers you had more ammo, but in this you don't. Oh
No.
my god.
No, it's more about certain stuff. Like, did you know in QuakeCon 2018, all of
Yeah.
that showing was by bot. It wasn't a real human.
Oh well, like even then, like this game got delayed. What was it, like 6 months? The game
And
is gonna change
Exactly.
over time.
yeah.
The shotgun shells looked really unbalanced.
Yeah.
Like one
And-
shot of a super shotgun took down one bullet. Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
if
term
it
for
was
a
just like
pre-rendered-
Doom 3 shotgun, then we'd all be much happier.
Well,
Oh god.
where Doom need more ammo.
Now that's okay. So
Cinematic.
you see, but it balances out because now you have more ammo, but your shotgun's like terrible. So it's like, in a way, you have I mean, you're just wasting your player's time instead of having a faster gameplay experience. But like,
Mhm.
I need my 500 round clip.
try and fool her into thinking that it was a real person playing the game in real time was called bullshot from id Software getting caught doing just that during the first E3 gameplay trailer. Remember when E3 was a thing? The second red flag
I don't really see why. I don't really see why like
Your mic cut out. What was that?
I don't really see why it's the problem. Bots can't like cause the game to play faster for them. It's still going to be a rather realistic depiction of what the gameplay is going to look
Yeah,
like.
and I've seen people that are better than bots
Yeah,
play the game.
like there's like the engine's still going to be the same unless they change it, but that's through no fault of the bot.
If anything, the bot will probably be worse than the player
It could be depending on
because
how
they don't
it
really
is.
have like tactics like Under the Mail, how he used like a microwave beam rocket combo and stuff like that.
Was the delay and the later admission that the team had
Or
already
me
been
with
crunching
my-
for most of the year. Nothing good comes from extended period of crunch.
Another combo that.
Is this his gameplay? Ugh. He just
Yeah, this is his gameplay.
it looks so slow.
He came back after he got the crucible. Look.
Oh, wow.
Guys, it just kind of don't blame the guy. It probably feels the gameplay probably feels very linear yet complex to him. So
I like
Cut
how
out
we're
some
still
stuff.
memeing on Gmod.
God, I'm never going to stop doing that.
No, that new person in HR says. Lastly, and I hate to say it, but YouTubers and media outlets not unlike myself were a part of the problem. If you look at all the media
You're not a
leading up to
media
Doom
outlet,
Eternal
you're a YouTuber. Hey guys, this is the official website of Charlatan Wonder. I got a whole crew working.
I mean, he did say like YouTube like myself, so he is blaming
I mean,
himself.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. And it seems like he's like kind of admitting some guilt.
launch,
Though,
everything
yeah.
was either a softball interview or
Kind of
worse,
cancels
the
out because he's like, we were part of the problem for hyping up this terrible game.
content was done right inside of the
So he's
spider's
still
parlor, so to speak.
irrelevant.
A lot of the
Oh my god. Is he really gonna try and bring Midnight into this?
So,
Midnight's like the nicest guy, well, not the nicest guy on the planet, but he's one of them.
yeah, he seems really
Yeah.
nice.
I mean,
Just a
when
dude
he's
that
drunk,
plays-
when he's drunk, he's not. But
God. So he actually thinks like Doom Eternal is horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it went wrong.
Like 2 or 3 out of 10.
trust me,
I'm
we'll
not
get
sure.
to the skill up review of Doom Eternal.
Oh no, not that
YouTube
one
videos showing off gameplay pre-release were admittedly done right inside of the studio with admissions that the devs were looking over the shoulders as the YouTubers played.
You have a full charge. You could just eliminate them right there instead of wasting ammo.
Oh my god.
Your boys, stop nitpicking.
Ugh.
It's mean. Don't tell him how to play the game. He can play the game how he wants.
Remember, guys.
Stop being a bigot.
Remember, guys. We're gatekeeping.
We're gatekeeping Doom 2016.
Additionally, that content from the videos almost reads like ad copy, hitting all the talking points that someone in marketing would want a paid actor for a commercial to say, but that's not to say that the
Why did he waste his heat blast on one demon?
Dude, stop invalidating his Doom experience.
people who went id Software to get their early gameplay footage for videos were being paid to say nice things. However, I'm sure that everyone would certainly like to be invited back to their studios for more exclusive pre-release video content recording sessions when Doom 3 2 Doom Guy Goes to Universal Studios to get his movie rights back is up for
What?
release. Now this isn't
It's a reference to Doom Annihilation, the Doom movie.
Funny, in software, like after that movie trailer came out, in software on Twitter, they said, we have nothing to do with this movie. Yeah, they said that. It was really funny.
Sounds
to
fun.
say that Doom
Oh, yeah.
is awful. It's just not the amazing savior of our quarantine boredom that we thought it would be. If anything,
So it's not awful.
Our poop dealer wants to join. Oh,
So he is saying that like Doom Eternal is not a bad
no,
game.
he said it was awful.
He said it's not
No,
awful.
he said it was awful. You
Now, this
misheard
isn't
him.
to say that Doom Eternal is awful.
This isn't to say that Doom Eternal is awful.
It's
Yeah.
just not the amazing savior of our quarantine boredom that we thought it would be. If anything, I'd like to get maybe 7 of the 14 hours it took me to get through this back so I can get about 2/3 of the way through another playthrough of Resident Evil 4. But you can't really exchange time like that. People certainly like it, and it's not on the same level as, say, The Outer Worlds or some other big disappointment. However, it is in no way a real contender for Game of the Year unless all the games that got delayed from Q1 to late in the year get further delayed into 2021 thanks.
What?
What else would be a contender for Game of the Year? Honestly,
you know, this is the sort of guy that's going to praise The Last of Us Part 2.
I wouldn't be surprised.
no, he didn't.
I don't know
wouldn't
if
He
he did.
didn't.
I
wouldn't be
put it past
surprised.
him.
Okay.
He's got 71k subscribers.
Really
Oh,
would?
God.
God, I would be crazed if he praised a lot too. When did that come out again? Like February?
I'm not even sure.
Or was that
Oh,
during the
people
summer?
are
I
throwing a
honestly.
fit in Script Coroner's Discord.
Oh God.
Hmm?
Go look in the Script Coroner's Discord.
What are they saying?
They're throwing a fit because we're using a different server.
That's wait. What channel? What channel?
No,
What channel? I want to see this.
no, don't put it in.
No, I
I
just
gave
want.
it to Poop, but nobody else right now.
Invite me. Okay. You do. Yes. Thanks, Poop Dealer, for adding me several times.
The need of Corona. It
He
might
even
give
called me on Discord. Jesus.
it anyway, though, because let's face it, game reviews are a
Okay,
sycophant's
Let's
paradise.
back to the watch.
Sycophant's Paradise.
Game reviews are a sycophant's paradise.
Okay, well, this will be.
Or is I don't know.
Oliver's going
He
crazy.
could go one of two ways. One of them is stupid, and one of them is obvious.
Oliver's going mad. Nope, they're using another server without warning anyone.
If we look at the meta page for the
Oh,
PC
boy.
version of the game, we see not one, but 2 massive red flags. The first is that there's more than 2 full-letter grades between the user score and the critic score.
Full letter grades are a terrible way to compare things. Like it's incredibly tenuous. People who use letter grades to like actually grade things are stupid.
Bro, like,
Because that means that over half of your like rating system is completely irrelevant. So you should be comparing it based on percentages, which you do 25% disparity. That is not a lot,
The user
actually.
score got
compared to most
dislike bomb
categories.
thanks to
Oh,
Doom Eternal's bloody antivirus.
And good lord, even if this is like, even if there wasn't like any sort of tampering, 25% difference is nothing these days. Absolutely nothing.
It
And
wasn't
plus,
real. It wasn't even. This was in the first sort of few weeks, though.
I
It
actually
eventually went down to 3 because people got so angry at the
I'm
devs
gonna look
having antivirus.
I
I'm gonna look
actually
at Metascore.
went through those reviews like after the game came out, like the negative user reviews, and they were so bad. They were like platforming bad, this game bad. This is the next Call of Duty.
Well, now it's at 7.7, and the Metascore critic reviews are at an 88. So the disparity is lower, actually.
Yeah, and
And again, to get a game or a movie with this kind of consensus, even one that isn't really that agreed upon, like that's kind of a miracle. I'm not gonna
and
lie.
plus, like, who even really cares about review scores? Just talk about the game.
That is true. Sometimes even like not always, most of the time not, but usually like actually, but every so often, audience scores could be pretty unreliable. Critics are almost always unreliable, though. Like, never trust them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the only time I've ever like agreed with critics over users is the Lion King remake or whatever. The users gave that movie a high score, but the critics didn't like it, which is agreed.
Oh
Which I
my
agree
god,
with because
what user gave that a
I
high
don't.
score?
Well, a bunch of them apparently. I think it was either what was it on Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic. I don't remember.
I mean, I respect Lion King for like evolving like
CGI.
the technology of like CGI and stuff like that, but it's just a soulless remake. It was
Oh yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trash.
Maybe software throws
Yeah.
really good industry parties. Maybe the major critics knew that tanking everyone's darling beacon of hope was
What? Are they? Is he saying that id Software bought off reviewers?
Yeah,
What? That's
he's saying it, but he isn't saying it.
yeah. He's like tiptoeing around it, like, oh, maybe I am. Maybe is he turning into Kylo Ren?
He's using reverse psychology to make us feel bad for him.
Yeah. Just keep going, I guess.
Can I just say how much I love the prototype from Doom 2016?
Oh yeah, I love it too.
a very good idea if they wanted to avoid the internet hate train. Seriously, a lot of these critic reviews read like they're fighting each other to become box quotes on a game that they know is going to sell like hell. I can't help.
Okay.
Doom was only good because of marketing.
Oh.
You gonna like, show any actual quotes, or is he just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this is what they sound like"? Ah.
Do you know what? After we've done with this video, shall we just go and watch the Doom Eternal trailers and Doom 2016 trailers?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what.
wait, I'll be right back. I gotta go do something. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. So, you guys
Okay, let's
can
continue.
keep going.
Can't help but notice that even Jim demonetized Sterling's son was being gentle on the game itself and focused most of his criticisms on the internet's favorite punching bag, Bethesda Softworks, and otherwise used kitty gloves.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Bethesda,
this shit. It's fucking Bethesda.
Fallout 76.
Fucking just Bethesda in general. Like any game they release.
Everything
It's a good thing that
just
they have
works.
id Software working on this. Otherwise, it'd probably just be a fucking mess.
On every other thing about the game in his Jimpressions video. The second major red flag was that when we look at the user scores, which there's already a whole lot of for the PC version,
That looks more like review spamming.
Yeah.
I know why. It's because the anti-cheat that was put into Doom Eternal after launch,
Right.
people threw a fit.
the uh-oh curve. What is the uh-oh curve? It's when there's
It
a
eventually
polarizing disparity between the consensus
went
of reviews.
down something
often
like 30% on Steam. People really weren't happy. Don't blame them. But anyway.
signifying that someone is trying to manipulate the score of a product in one way or another, or that a lot of people are willing to ignore a lot of good or bad stuff in order to maintain that their initial expectations were right and to avoid.
It bought off reviewers, but also didn't, so that I don't get blasted.
Yeah.
God forbid, feeling like they might have been wrong about something. If the reviews trended one way or another, this would be fine. But just in general, whenever you see this particular curve on any product's review page, the buyer should beware. Alright, we're
What? I don't know what he's saying here, though. He just kind of said, like, people have
Basically, if there's any sort of percentage of the negatives that's similar to the positives, buyer beware.
But the negatives and positives weren't all that similar. In fact, there were 100 more positive reviews than negative ones. And even if he's, like, wrong, Or not
Oh.
wrong, right.
I'm just looking in the
It's
Script
like,
Coroner's Discord. Doom free shotgun good.
it's like essentially saying any game that is polarized means that that there are people on one side or the other that are sticking by their beliefs no matter what.
Yeah.
And I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay, wait, what did he say?
Oh,
Essentially, there is a polarized movie/game. I guess he just said game. Then one of the sides is wrong, and they're sticking by their beliefs no matter what.
let's go.
Pages of script in here, let's actually talk about where Doom Eternal went horribly wrong, because everybody likes a callback. Alright, let's start out with the ripping and
Are you really gonna try and say that Bioshock Infinite and Doom Eternal have the same problems?
What is he Regs?
At least he recognizes that Bioshock Infinite isn't good.
I mean, I haven't played it, so I can't really comment. But
It's got a Last of Us Part 2 situation.
He's pulling a.
It's not that bad.
Not as bad, but it still has the sort of situation where it tries to tell a story, but does the complete opposite with the gameplay.
He's pulling a Regs on the EFAP podcast where they went over Doom Eternal. Regs compared Doom Eternal to Bioshock Infinite and said it won't age well.
Oh god. Yeah, well, no one likes rags.
Who does?
ripping and the tear, just to say the core gameplay. The combat, it feels akin to getting too drunk when you're young and still learning the limits of liquor consumption, which has happened to all of us, let's be honest. It feels...
What kind of comparison?
Let's let him explain.
Feels really awesome at first for like an hour or so, but after a while you get extremely disoriented and confused and you're starting to feel bad and you end up having a nut.
At least use the sticky bombs if you're going to use the combat shotgun.
There was literally a tutorial saying, hey, shoot for the head with these weapons and it will...
I mean, the sticky bombs work. The ballista, sticky bombs, and precision shot work with the Maker drone.
That's a really dumb move.
I like how Airborne's just having a war. In Site 19.
What the?
I'm just trying to start a discussion.
So
I'm tempted to go grab the Civvy video about 2 and 3 shotgun.
And I attribute this to how there's just too many enemies in the arenas at any given time.
Are you joking? Are you What? 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 I'm lost for words. There's too many enemies? He's pulling a civvy now. Is this man just a chameleon of other people that don't like Doom Eternal?
Oh no.
He is the apex of the Doom Eternal.
I'm being asked for the invite, but I can't. I don't want...
Who? Hey,
I'm being asked for the invite to the server, but no.
By who?
Once you're out of the early game.
Oliver.
How can you tell that this is the case? Well, for one, there are at times so many monsters in the arenas that you can effectively make it your strategy to position yourself between low-level enemies and the stuff that's actually supposed to...
He's playing like he's a robot.
Is he acting like the gargoyle?
Who posted the invite?
Is he acting like the gargoyles aren't a threat? Have you... If you're distracted, the gargoyles can do a good amount of damage on you. Like, they can corner you. That's happened several times to me, where I'll be, like, fighting a Baron of Hell, and then a gargoyle just sneaks up behind me and hits me.
Well, you know, the reason for that's because there's too many enemies.
Too many.
I don't know, I really think, like, Doom 1, or Doom 4, I guess, was more focused on, like, throwing enemies at you. This was more like plotted, you know, like, more focused on combinations of enemies rather than just amounts.
Like the enemies like support each other. Like they'll have a Mancubus and like a Hell Knight with some fast-moving enemies like the gargoyles and imps, like to really put the pressure.
It's the playing on like Ultra Nightmare or something.
I've been playing on Nightmare, and like you're like, oh, that's a deadly combination. Like a bunch of Pinkies, Hell Knights, and a Mancubus with a bunch of soldiers all around the room. Like that's
to be a threat because they won't actually attack through each other. Enemies will like patiently go around one another. There's so much stuff going on that you can't focus on any one thing
what is
long
he
enough.
doing?
Did you try and melee somebody?
I don't know. He could have.
Did you just use the melee in Doom Eternal?
He just no. He
All
literally
right.
just tried to dash through that guy. What the?
To deal with it, constantly getting broadsided by demons thanks to there being so many of them and so many more constantly spawning that you
Look at the clip he's showing.
You're like
Look at the clip he's showing. That's not even a lot of.
you're
demons.
barely even moving, and there's like 2 zombies on you.
Yeah, and there's like, I didn't touch.
Like you're not even like playing the game at like how they want you to play, which is just constant like movement and
Yeah.
strafing, etc.
Yeah.
You're just like you're just standing like and weaving just a little bit. Like how can you be complaining about difficulty here?
You can't keep track of them all. There's other problems caused by how much
Is he running away from a Baron of Hell?
stuff is
Like,
in
not
any
well,
given
not even
encounter,
shooting
but
it.
we'll get to that in just.
You know when
Just why?
people who play Doom Eternal look like robots, and then they complain. This guy just plays like he's a robot.
Shakespeare robots.
Guys, he killed an Arachnotron with the lock-on shot. See, he's really good at the game, guys. He was able to press a button.
In the
Good
meantime,
job.
we've got the same repetitive combat and the 2 big.
I play
lies.
better than
Wait,
this guy.
pause.
Okay.
Pause right there. Wait, let me talk. He says Doom 2016 is a masterpiece, but this game is bad and it has repetitive combat. Doom 2016 is repetitive.
I love Doom 2016, but the game is repetitive as hell.
Oh yeah.
It gets repetitive.
Like this is way more dynamic and fluid than Doom Eternal. Not Doom Eternal. Doom 2016. I cannot talk today, and I really like Doom 2016.
I still play Doom.
This is way more. This is way more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Like this game is way more fast paced because you have the dash and a bunch of like movement abilities.
Yeah, and just like the combinations of enemies are just more thought out, more different, more interesting. It's a complete step up.
Yeah.
Maybe a third way. And then we've got to talk about how this game is what's called Nintendo hard. So what is Nintendo hard? Well, it refers to a kind of difficulty that was used by a lot of old Nintendo games in the late 80s and early 90s, where games were made to be very hard, not so much to provide a challenge.
Yes.
But to make it to where they can drag a game with maybe a couple hours of content over 10, maybe 11 or 12 hours of playtime. This was less about a lack of creativity or
Why is he showing such a terrible example? I've like played this game before. It's not hard.
What? How
like,
is
use Contra or Ninja Gaiden. Those are genuinely hard games.
how is Doom Eternal stretched out? Did he want the game to end after you killed the second Hell Priest? Or before that? I don't... What?
Laziness?
He's just saying like the game is it's padded out by artificial difficulty.
Storage space on NES cartridges was
even
measured
on Nightmare,
in the
like it's not
and
padded
the SNES
out.
could get up to a little over 14 megs if you are feeling extremely ambitious. You either had to make your games very grindy or very hard if you wanted to leave your customers satisfied with what they dropped $50 of 1985 money on for one of your company's games. Doom Eternal is
I don't even necessarily think that's what happened.
Oh, he's gonna use the platforming to say that's padding. The platforming sections are a few minutes long at most. Like the example he's showing right now, I played that level yesterday on Nightmare, and that took a minute, maybe.
I mean, I don't even agree with like this premise that like all 1985 like from that kind of era is just like, oh, it's all grindy and stupid. Like, yeah, there's some standout examples, but a lot of games from that era were really fair and simple. Like, Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, even the original Legend of Zelda, Kirby's Dream Land, DuckTales. Seriously, just like you can go out there and find some pretty easy games from the 80s to 90s.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal is probably easier still, though.
42 gigs
Unfair.
unpacked and does not have an excuse.
If you want unfair Mario, get unfair Mario.
That.
Or just get the second
Cat
one.
Mario.
That one's an actual bitch.
Oh, Unfair Mario is way worse.
Oh yeah, Unfair Mario, but that's like designed to be unfair.
Oh yeah.
Like Mario, it's called the Lost Levels. Is just like garbage game design at its finest.
Yeah.
Excuse for all the that it does. Exhibit A of Nintendo Hard, the Marauder. The Marauder is meant to be a mini boss and one of the demons made specifically to deal with Doom Guy. This would be okay if, like the other anti-Slayer demons, he played fair. The Marauder likes to ignore clean hits that
How
get
is
past
he
his
not
shield.
fair? If you know what you're doing, he's not that hard.
Okay, I'm gonna say one thing quickly about the Marauder and the Ancient Gods DLC for the Slayer Gate on the third mission, because that is the only unfair Marauder I've seen. You have a room filled with Maker drones and a Marauder, and all the Maker drones keep on hitting the Marauder's shield, and he constantly keeps on spawning dogs because of it. That's what I consider to be unfair.
Yeah. But like
Yeah. Oh,
Marauders,
okay.
if you're
I also happened to encounter something that I've never seen before.
what?
2 dogs.
Oh my god.
2 dogs at once. It got
Wow.
that bad.
Jesus.
I wish
My
I
God.
got the footage of it, but holy moly.
Yeah, like now that I know what I'm doing against Marauders, they're barely even a threat, really. Like even on Nightmare difficulty, when I was doing the Master level and it ended with this Marauder, it was probably the easiest part of the Master level. Just
Airborne.
one Marauder with a few imps. Okay.
Airborne, if you want to debate replica on the Doom 3 shotgun, go into Site 19.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Screw you, that's why. I'm okay
We'll do
with playing
that
by the
after.
rules and only hitting him when he's about to attack in his very nebulously
What is
defined vulnerability
is he-
zone. If it wasn't for the
he's
fact that
playing
damage
like
only
a
seems to count
democracy.
if it's inflicted as he's
Using the minigun against the Marauder, but that's like one of the worst weapons to fight him with.
Use
Most
the
of the time,
super
at
shotgun.
least. Yeah, like if he's frozen, yeah, sure, pull out the minigun, whatever.
doing
But
the attack. With a salvo of micro missiles while he's attacking? Too bad, his shield will pop up as they're exploding and effectively negate the damage, despite the fact that they're lodged in his chest and
Not
the missiles
really.
are behind the barrier
The sticky
of magical
bombs
ignoring damage
still do
because screw
damage.
you,
Remote
that's why. You
detonation.
also eventually learn that the way
Yeah.
to effectively, consistently deal with Marauders is to abuse low-level demons because you won't charge through them and exploit corners into fooling the AI into charging. The Marauder also doesn't seem to be too interested in the job of slaying the Slayer, because if you chainsaw or glory kill an enemy near him if you need health, he'll just, like every other monster, politely wait for you to finish your business.
what do you? He wants it to be like Duke Nukem Forever. He wants that. Like, oh, you're standing in this place for a couple seconds. Let's all hit him. That would be unfair as shit. Like,
Yeah, Duke
that's all-
Nukem Forever, you could be hit while you were
Yeah.
doing glory kills, which basically made them.
yeah,
Why?
that made them useless.
Yeah.
And
If you want a good
you
video
know
on
what?
Duke
Doom
Nukem Forever,
2016 does the same thing. They just, by his logic, Doom 2016 does the same thing.
Doom 2016 does it with temporary invincibility though.
I mean, yeah, but still, like, they're just wait for you to get out, and like, there's a reason for that because
If
you would
you
die.
guys want a good video on Duke Nukem Forever, go and watch Civvies.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I watched that. That was
We
pretty
all
great.
hate Randy.
Resuming being extremely cheap. Now, let's talk about how the
Aliens,
overabundance
colonial
of
marines.
enemies is a facet of Nintendo.
He blurred it out. Spoilers.
Complaining about Marauders is just. Have you ever known the definition of insanity? It's where you do the same thing over and over again. Yeah. That's like the best. That's like these Doom response videos in a nutshell. Have you ever heard the definition of insanity? It's where you do the same fucking thing over and over, expecting shit to change, but it doesn't. Yeah, well, I guess keep going. Back to
hard.
Marauder
Enemies will
Companion.
spawn on top of one another, making things even more crowded if you killed the wrong thing too soon, and you'll get cornered a lot because
What?
you were careless. But because there's physically no space for you to move, you're just gonna have to sit there and get
How is it-
rope-a-doped.
No space
What?
to move? What? What?
I don't think it's just like this is probably like the most restrictive environment he's shown so far, and even then I wouldn't call it like no
Yeah.
space.
Like, even the small maps, like the one Slayer Gate, I can't remember what level it's. I think it's the one on Arc Complex. Even that one, that's kind of restrictive, but like you still have a lot of like routes to move with like portals and stuff and jump pads.
Until you get lucky
Like-
or die. At times,
Look at all that! Look at all that right there!
Yeah.
You could be moving around and you
Mm.
know avoiding the enemies that are on your left, or you could just stand there and
Yeah.
there are so many that you'll get knocked out of bounds where you won't be able to respawn or fall off the edge, effectively soft locking the game. So have fun with that. Eventually, you'll get the BFG
What?
and the other.
How, what? What? It's not very hard to get your health back, my guy.
It's just not a bad shotgun.
He's saying that it soft locks the game because then you die and have low health, so then you can't get it back because there's too many enemies.
It's chainsaw. Spam the chainsaw button, it'll eventually hit one of them.
that's not what a fucking soft lock is.
A soft
Or
lock
melee
is like a
weapons.
glitch that doesn't go
Are
away.
you retarded?
A soft lock is
basically-
like a
That-
glitch
the-
that
like-
doesn't go away.
I don't feel
That
like
means,
fighting
like,
this
you're-
button,
you're
which
forced
the Marauder
to
will
fail
also ignore that
restart.
thing too. But even then, you'll find yourself reloading a lot of arenas because there are just too many enemies to deal with unless you do it in a specific way. Because ammo is very
Ooh.
limited, and the BFG doesn't seem to effectively kill everything anymore. And
Let's see how he
It's
uses
no
the
longer a
BFG.
panic button.
I remember Potato in his video on this. He said he covered like him using the BFG, and if I remember correctly, he was literally like shooting it as like a Baron of Hell was literally covering the screen, making it a waste of a BFG shot. You're supposed to shoot it in the air, and then the tendrils will do the rest. Like,
I sometimes shoot the actual thing at
yeah,
Tyrant just to bring it down
yeah.
to low health. Because it only dies in like 2 super shotgun blasts then.
Yeah.
See that's an effective way to use the BFG.
Yeah,
It
not
doesn't
like shoot
kill
it when a
everything in
Baron
one
of Hell.
hit.
Yeah, it's not supposed to. Like, oh yeah, it's a big gun and it's supposed to help you out a lot, but like that'd be like, oh, that'd be like giving you a button. Be
The
like,
win
oh,
button.
you can just skip the arena now.
I mean, it
He wants it to be-
kind of is partially, but apart from the super heavy demons,
Yeah,
nothing can survive it.
yeah. And plus, the game's more fun when you don't use BFG. So
Agreed.
why, like, even like the Crucible, I say it's more fun when you don't use that because you don't have like a get out of jail free card. You have to use what like things that are like less effective, but you get better as a player by using that.
it feels like its range has been reduced too. Now,
Let's try and
about
get
that
2
ammo.
minutes
Even
more
at max
without
upgrades, you'll find that
stopping.
you have the same amount of weapons and the same amount of ammo types, but now you have, at times, less than half the ammunition available to you in Doom 2016. As an example, the maximum
Okay.
amount of ammo you can get for the shotgun is 24 shells in Doom Eternal, whereas it was 60 in Doom 2016. Supposedly, this is geared to make you
Okay.
use all the tools in your arsenal, but for
Supposedly.
one, some weapons are much better at dealing with certain enemies than others, and of course, the good stuff is going to run out because they keep on spawning the harder stuff. And for another, if
Huh?
Yes, what? Okay, so he says you're supposed to switch like weapons to deal with different enemies, but then he says supposedly you're. Whoa. What? I'm
Just
just
to use every item in your rotation in order to get
Use
through
the
the mid
heat
to late game
blast.
encounters. Is that really having many tools in your arsenal, or is that having just one tool in your arsenal because you can't do it any other way? Yes,
Always
you have at least one
chainsaw
tick in your
fodders.
chainsaw gauge at all times because
It's
it
okay.
regenerates
Pause.
now.
He's
But half the
he's
enemy
pulling a crime war now that you can't be creative in Doom Eternal.
Doom is complex, yet simple.
Yeah, like
He's
he's
pulling a demod.
yeah, Crime War is Crime War has said like the same. What he's effectively saying is that like, oh, you just shoot the Cacodemon with the grenade, then boom, done. Well, that's not the only way you can do it. If
It's just the
like
fastest way.
yeah, or like the mobile turret, you could just boom, and it's done in like seconds. Or
you
even
could use
just
the
one.
Arbalist.
Yeah, just a charged up ballista blast. Yeah.
It's pretty
fight
much a precision shot.
Yeah.
either
There's
chainsaw
many
proof
like ways
because
to do it, but
I summon chainsaw deflectors, and in order to kill anything bigger than an imp, you need a full fuel gauge, which is hard to come by for most of the game. And
not
lastly,
really.
before
Not really.
It's pretty abundant.
Yeah, in one Slayer gate, there was like 4 gas cans, and they're all like, "Oh, here's a
Yep.
gas can out in the open. You should grab that." Like, they're not very hard to come by.
I forget about
And
it in
plus,
this
why
Nintendo Heart
should
segment,
you,
I'd be missed if I didn't mention
be
that even on
chainsawing,
the
like,
default Hurt Me
tyrants
Plenty
and
difficulty, all the demons in
Mancubuses,
hell
like-
must live in pineapples under the sea
It's
because
not
them
really a good way
suckers
to use it.
spongy. The issues about ammo.
Oh,
Sponge.
now he's complaining that they.
What is you expect the tyrants to go down in one precision shot?
He expects instant stagger mode. He's
Why?
a Polygon. He works for Polygon apparently.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I do Polygon runs. They're not fun. They make you feel powerful.
We gonna get
but
anybody else on here? I was thinking I probably have to step out soon.
they're not fun. They're not fun. They make you feel powerful, but they're not rewarding. But just putting on like one cheat, like infinite extra lives or infinite ammo, you still got to contend with you dropping health.
Yeah.
It gives you
back.
infinite tries, but you improve because you get. It's pretty much like a tutorial. You can make every single level a tutorial, which can improve your chances
enemy-
really.
Abundance wouldn't be so bad if things went down in a reasonable number of chain gun rounds to the face.
He's a chain gun spammer. Oh boy.
The game encourages you to use all of your arsenal, which you highlighted, and then you just decide to use one weapon.
I'm a tried and true super shotgun spammer, but
Sure,
don't
but he's
just
complaining about it.
it's your choice not to use it.
Yeah, my main
Yeah.
my main like weapon combo that I have like on set before arenas is super shotgun ballista. But like
Oh yeah, the
If-
ballista super shotgun combo has been nullified
Yeah.
thanks to the blood makers.
wait,
They
what?
take
Oh,
less damage from energy weapons.
oh.
Just to inform you.
This all
Okay.
eventually leads to a very repetitive core game where you will almost always shoot the bad things
Very
until you run out of ammo.
repetitive.
But now more
Doom is
What-
simple yet complex. Yet it's one path.
Doom 2016 is repetitive because you can
Oh,
just use
also
the
it's
super
me,
shotgun
Oliver.
the entire game if you wanted to. Like once
Oh
you get
my
it.
god, Doom 2016 is a terrible gameplay
guys,
loop
please,
because it's
please,
just
please.
shooting things till they die until you run out of
Beg you
ammo.
guys for me.
Wait,
For channel, please.
who's somebody chatting in the background.
That's not me.
Not me.
You guys
either.
could hear it, right?
No, I don't hear anything.
I heard something.
No, I heard something. I just don't know what it is.
Oh.
It sounded like Oliver, but
It
let's
did.
just
It's
continue.
not in the chat. Or yeah.
Oh.
I'm confused. I have
Yeah,
many
I don't know.
questions.
Let's just keep going.
bad things have spawned,
Maybe
leaving
it's
you
just
with low
a
health,
spooky
no
ghost.
bullets, and more damage than when you started with in the first place. Then you run away,
The
looking
game's
for a conveniently placed
escalating.
zombie to chainsaw
Yeah.
and die a few
So he's running away. He says you run away.
Why do you run away from things in Doom? You're not supposed to do that.
Running away.
Unless you're me playing
The
Doom.
only
Because I'm
the
bad.
only time you're supposed to run away, like one shot until you die, and you see a nearby med pack.
I'm being begged.
Hmm?
I'm being begged to let into the to let Oliver into the server.
He said he hasn't even played Doom or Doom Eternal, though.
Yeah. Why?
He doesn't really have any insight on the discussion. I mean, I haven't played a lot of Doom Eternal, but I've played like good half hour, or not a half hour, like hour and a half, and I've like seen like 1,000 reviews on it.
Well, I gotta go.
Oh,
You gotta
oh,
go.
See you guys. Yeah,
Oh
Okay,
boy.
see
you
ya.
guys can continue.
Okay, me and Airborne got this.
Alright, let's go.
Let's
You
go,
shall
boys.
wait.
if
And
you
come
time
out
it,
on the
you'll
other
essentially
side.
figure out how this particular arena loops around, and you can do a little circuit around the arena, waiting for your chainsaw meter to refill, chainsawing an imp, shooting a bit more, running
Is that
out
how
of
he
ammo,
plays?
running around.
Oh, that's
I have no clue how he plays, honestly.
Well, he says that's how you're supposed to play. You shoot until you run out of ammo, then you run around the arena, running away, until your chainsaw meter refills over and over.
I mean, the guy is like kind of shown that he doesn't really manage his ammo correctly. He just uses one weapon until he's forced to switch.
Yeah.
When you could use a diverse array of your weaponry.
Yeah. Like,
But whatever. I don't make me tell you how to play Doom, even if it's gonna cause you to make bad review.
Around in circles again to chainsaw another imp that will perpetually spawn. I find it ironic that, while in the last game, if
okay,
you were low on
pause
health,
right there. So he says that the imps just spawn over and over. There's a reason for that, because when you're taking on the heavy demons, you'll obviously they can take more damage, so you'll run out of ammo. But the reason the imps and fodder enemies keep respawning is that you don't run out of ammo. Does he not get that? It's pretty simple.
I don't know. This is like engaging with somebody who played Doom Eternal like at a demo and then just said, okay, this is the entire game, and my personal experience is an objective breakdown of everything that happened.
munitions, charge straight into the hordes of demons to refill your stuff. Now you have to run away because your melee.
Is he complaining about
The
charging
melee,
into a horde of demons to refill your ammo, as if that wasn't a core component of Doom 2016?
and now he's complaining that the melee isn't as good as 2016. The blood punch
the melee
exists.
is admittedly pretty shit in this game, but
Well, yeah, but what's the point, really?
I mean,
I
it's
don't.
not really a core mechanic. It's not really it's not like you have to use it.
Yeah, it's not like you're in 2016 you would just run up to a Cacodemon and punch it randomly.
Yeah, pretty much everything that replaces the melee in this game, including the vastly improved grenade, makes the melee that's already bad pretty much obsolete.
Well, and plus, I'd rather take a bad melee, but with a blood punch over just the melee in Doom 2016.
Yeah,
Any day.
absolutely, and
Blood-
it's not really like a Doom 3 scenario where it's where Doom 3 shotgun is it's the most common amount of ammo, it's the most common weapon.
Yeah.
But it's also really bad. Whereas in this game, it's you'll never need the melee. You'll never be forced to use it.
Yeah, sometimes you'll just punch. The one useful thing that you can do with it is what I encountered is that if a zombie tries to hit you, you can melee them and they'll push them back so they don't hit you. So you can stagger small enemies like that. well, not really like stagger them, but like push them back to give you a bit of space to shoot. But like the blood punch is way more useful, even if you don't have it all the time. Which, I mean, once you have like upgraded it quite a bit and like finished the campaign, you should have blood punch a lot if you're playing correctly. I guess let's continue with the video where he's gonna rant about melee.
Sorry, I'm just talking about. I'm just responding to Patrick in the live chat.
Yeah. Oh.
Melee no longer damage unless you have a specific power-up charge, and will only stagger enemies at best. Charging in.
Okay.
So he was just using this like this clip as like an example of how bad the melee is. Like he was just trying to prove it like in game. But honestly, why would you ever use it?
Yeah.
When there are
The
tools
blood
to your
punch
disposal
is-
at every single point in the game that completely overshadow it.
Yeah. Like I don't see like in 2016 you can't just like run up to any enemy like a Hell Knight or Baron of Hell and just punch them. Hey guys, well unless you have the Berserk power up, but like you wouldn't like 2016 you don't just punch things unless it's like a zombie. That's the only time I really ever used it. Like
into an army of looking to see what looks like it's about to go down in a couple punches is offering up a lot more fun and a lot
so
more
now he's
creative
not
ways
going to
to
show the melee in 2016.
I guess not.
do things than running away in a circle
To
until
try
your
and compare.
chainsaw meter fills up because you can only do that to quick kill. I thought I was playing a Doom game, not soloing in a World of Warcraft expansion. And this all feels like a
What?
What?
That's what Crymore said. That is what Crymore said in his video. He said it's more World of Warcraft than Doom. Oh my god.
It doesn't make any sense at all. More enemies and slightly less, not slightly less, a lot less ammo, but less ammo means World of Warcraft. Like, you have to take on entire armies by yourself. Again, I would argue that there are less demons in this game than there are in the last one.
Like,
You're just
oh
fighting
my God.
harder
At this
arrangements.
point, when you know what you're doing in this game, like General can back me up on this, you'll be swimming in ammo if you know what you're doing most of the time. You like, it's just, I like I've probably ran out of ammo with the super shotgun a few times at best, and then like right after that, I'll just be like, oh, I have ammo again by chainsaw. So it's not that hard to keep a steady ammo pool. You just have to pay attention, which doesn't seem like something this guy's good at.
No, a lot of these videos we kind of make fun of the gameplay because it's not very good.
Even on my first playthrough, like I didn't complain about the ammo, and I didn't really know like much about the game. Like I didn't really watch videos like defending it and stuff like that. I just played the game. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fun. Like I didn't once complain about the ammo on my first playthrough.
No, it's actually still pretty good, all things considered, especially because you have like 1,000 guns.
Yeah, and I find it way more fun, like to have less ammo in Doom Eternal because you're swapping weapons.
Yeah,
You have to be like paying attention. Yeah.
Yeah, like I abuse the absolute fuck out of the super shotgun and the Gauss cannon and Doom 2016. Like I don't think I touch my plasma rifle, honestly. Like but see, this is like more you have to adapt and think more. Apparently that's bad because I need ammo.
Oh, you actually have to turn on your brain? What's
I
that?
don't know. I'd have to ask what he thinks about Doom 1 and Doom 2, like the OGs, because If you played on like Ultra Violence Pistol Start every single level, or just like when you die Pistol Start Restart, ammo was like a scarce commodity
Yeah.
compared to like Doom Eternal. It's
Even
actually kind of
even
insane.
even Hugo Martin, like he doesn't like how Doom 2016 turned out because like you don't have to swap weapons and like you have a lot of ammo. But so even he said that.
Yeah, like this is. I mean, yeah, like Doom was like I think Doom 2016 was like a bit too generous, and like this is kind of like
Oh yeah,
maybe
definitely.
slightly a slightly not quite enough generous, but still really fun.
Yeah, it was
It's
fun for what it is, but then Doom Eternal came around.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
it's
this.
yeah. Doom
It
Eternal's
kind of made me.
merciful. It's like merciful compared to Doom 1 and Doom 2 though, and Plutonia.
Yeah, yeah, like
fixed for not
Doom Eternal made me like rethink the combat in 2016. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
2016's combat isn't even close to as good as this, and it's way
up
too
the ammo,
generous.
which even though that isn't the case and is more of an attempt to make gameplay more simulating, it misses the mark and is now embedded into the leg of some poor sporting
What is
equipment
he?
store's hourly employee. Seriously,
what?
Is he? Why is he just like running past enemies? What? What? What?
no, if powered up auto shotgun is a thing, it would be a way cooler thing if we were able to use it for more than 3 seconds in the late game. And if we're gonna be nitpicking
Not really.
guns,
You can
I
use it
guess
for
I'll
a decent amount of time.
It's just like if we're
Yeah,
gonna be nitpicking, as if he hasn't like been doing disingenuous criticism like this entire video.
yeah. Like,
I'll
okay, so what? You just want to use the full auto shotgun the entire game? Even then, like, it's
Oh
not
my
that
god.
effective. Like, it's not that effective against a lot of enemies. Most of the time, as if they're like full health, you're just like, oh, wear them down. But whatever. Like, I I really don't get that. It's just shooting the shotgun but faster. I'll be right back.
I'll be waiting.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, let's keep going.
that the super shotty should be at least twice as fast as it was in Eternal, because I almost never used it based on how
Really?
Wait, he thinks
Really?
that the shotgun in Doom 2016 is
Okay.
twice as fast as the shotgun in Doom Eternal.
Okay, and also he's being very disingenuous because he's using the shotgun without any upgrades.
That is true.
That's very yeah. Because
Yeah,
from
but
like I
like
fully
the
upgraded.
shotgun in Doom 2016 was overpowered, broken.
Yeah,
how
but even
slow it
then,
was.
like even though it was broken, I would take Eternals over it any day because of the meat hook.
Yeah, that is
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah, that's way more useful.
that's a really good trade-off. I wonder if he's gonna bring it up though.
Especially when you get the flaming meat hook. You have armor all
Oh
the
yeah.
time.
I do wonder if he's gonna like bring up like the meat hook, like the trade-off, but probably not.
Probably not.
And when I was to use it in certain segments, I was like, gee, I wish I had Doom 2016 super shoddy right about now. And as an
How
insult
about
to injury,
upgrades?
if you die more than 3 times to any of the major bosses in the game, they'll start prompting you with one of the cheat codes so you can get through it, which I
It's
eventually
not a cheat
begrudgingly
code. You can
accepted.
still die, moron. That's just you take less damage.
Yeah.
There's cheat codes in the game, and they're like way better, like, 4 times damage with haste and unlimited ammo.
Yeah,
You'll
like
just be zooming around with.
I don't know if he's like saying like, oh, the game's making fun of you for being bad, but like, okay,
Okay.
kind of seems like a non sequitur. Like Doom 2016 shotgun was better. Oh, by the way, if you die, you do this.
Yeah.
I was sick of Nintendo Hard, and lo and behold, I got him the first time with the Sentinel armor. Personally, I think that maybe something.
Good job.
Who? What's the? Even if I didn't like the game, I'm not gonna. What does he say at the top? The title's cutting it off, like the bottom.
Even if I didn't like the
It-
game, I'm not gonna spill parts of it for others. All right.
Something a little less than this Sentinel armor cheat mode
So
should have
Central
been
Armor
hurt me
makes it a
plenty
bit
mode.
easier for having trouble. Your point?
I don't know why he would be having trouble.
Yeah, the con maker's not even that like difficult. Like, oh yeah, if if you're not really paying attention, she'll kick your ass. But if not,
While I
like
played on
literally,
hurt
just use the minigun
me plenty,
with
it
the
felt
shield, and she can't do any. Make her hands are behind.
like Nightmare from the last game and then some. The normal mode of your game should be the intended experience for your game, and if someone who has been playing shooters for nearly 20 years now has to take cheats to get through your bosses, which honestly, I died more to the Marauders than I did to both the bosses.
This is the cosmonaut syndrome. This says more about you than it does about the game.
Yeah,
Like
and plus he says there's
unless
two.
you can.
Also, he got something wrong. He says he died more to 2 bosses. There's 3 other bosses.
I guess this they don't count. Again, this is was like Cosmonaut's like, I am a grown adult and I did not know the plot of the Phantom Menace until now. It's like, okay, Cosmonaut, that doesn't make the movie like hard to understand. It just makes you stupid.
Yeah.
Like
It's like
this
way.
is just like, man, this does not make Doom Eternal poorly designed unless you want to like explain that. This just like makes you not good at the game.
Yeah. Just what? I don't.
Is combined. You need a fresh batch of QA testers for your balance. Okay, now before you type your blue.
Dude, you oh my god, you're just talking about like the shotgun from Doom 2016. That is not balanced.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yes, we need to fix the balance. And he talks about like how he wants like Doom 2016 shotgun to like carry him through the game.
Yeah. Like what?
Backwards.
I don't get
Obligatory
this. He's
two for
like,
you
this
or
game's
the Dark
bad,
Souls
but then he
staple,
doesn't
get
understand
good
this
into the
part of the
comments.
game's
Let's
bad,
talk
but he
about
doesn't
how
understand
Dark
why they did it. Because there are
Yeah.
reasons. Like they wanted more balance and like experience, and they wanted people to swap weapons more. Because Hugo Martin, when he plays Doom 2016, he plays it like Eternal. He swaps weapons. Like, okay, in the sequel, let's change it so you have to swap weapons to be effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Low ammo, cause bad.
Mm,
I don't know. There's not a lot of concrete. He's just like, oh, I had trouble with it, and I had to go back and get ammo. and stuff.
There's too many enemies in these arenas. Wah! Wah! Like, there's not even like, yeah, there's more enemies. I would say at least, but it's been a while since I played 2016, so take this statement with a grain of salt. But like, is it really a bad thing that there's more enemies? Is that really a bad thing with the game? Okay, I guess let's keep going through this really bad video.
Dark Souls
God.
Hard is different from this. Dark Souls Hard is hard, but it's fair. Every pitfall can be avoided on the first
He's
go-round if
saying
you're
Dark
observant.
Souls
Any
is
boss
hard
can be
and
beat.
fair, but Doom Eternal.
Okay, I'm gonna call him out as bullshit. Dark Souls 1 and especially Dark Souls 2 are not very fair games.
I have not played Dark
They have
Souls.
some real bullshit to them. Like poison that kills you over a long period of time without any way of curing it. Or like stupid fucking platforming that's like poached by like enemies. You know, you jump over one thing, you get past another thing. There's like a ton of like monsters waiting for you on the other side. Like
I've not,
unfair camera angles and stuff like that.
yeah,
Doom Eternal is like cakewalk compared to Dark Souls 1.
yeah, I've not played Dark Souls, but like even just from seeing like other people play it and like frustrations with the game, yeah, it seems really hard. But like saying Dark Souls 1 is fair, but Doom Eternal isn't. What?
Like
I don't.
I mean, I don't know, I was just saying like Doom, like Dark Souls' combat system. It's very simple. It's just not really that. It's at times it's just not fair. Dark Souls 3 fixes all the problems with the game though. You know, with the
Mhm.
franchise. Like that one's actually like tough but fair.
Yeah.
100%.
Beaten with patience, adherence to the game's rules, and following the attack patterns. Dark Souls represents a carefully curated. Cat, you're a naughty boy. We just let you in. You want to go out now because there's no snacks in your bowl? Are you just a hungry boy? Are you just a hungry
Hey,
boy? Are you bothering
first
Mom
one?
to feed
Can
him?
you not just interrupt the video
leaving
for
this in the
some
video.
random?
Everyone,
Just that always annoys me when like someone just stops the video to say something
Oh my god. Just
random. Like,
redo the tape. We don't need it. It
Yeah.
also just completely doesn't like match the rest of the style of this video. It's like,
yeah,
okay, we're gonna break down
he
what
spent
Eternal,
more
but
he spent more time yelling at his talking to his cat than why the game is bad.
yeah.
Like he hasn't explained any of his statements.
the cat is being a naughty boy. Shame him in the comments.
So you want your viewers to bully your cat? Okay.
We're trying to find the funny.
The funny has not been found.
Ah, god damn it! There's no funny.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. Dark Souls
There
represents a
seems to be
carefully
no signs of
curated
funny on
challenge
this
that is definitely
planet.
punishing at times and will make weaker-willed players chuck their controller, but ultimately, it's a challenge that can be overcome with enough determination and practice, and is highly satisfying.
You can't practice with Doom Eternal? You know, I like how Ackman put things in like Halo Combat of All Legendary. Like you encounter a set piece or like a scenario. Like I
Mhm.
would say 95% of the time you'll die once, like if it's really hard. And then you'll know what to do to overcome it, and then you'll persevere.
Yeah.
Like that's what I consider to be like tough but fair game design. Like you'll die when you don't know what you're doing, but then you get an idea of what you're doing. The next time, maybe the one after that. Ideally the next time though, you can beat the game. I
Yeah.
don't think Dark Souls 1 specifically represents that. I think
Yeah.
it's trial and error, which I
Even-
hate.
Even then, like on Nightmare difficulty on Doom, I've been dying a lot, even though I know what to do in the arenas. Like I'll be dying over and over. But that's my fault because I'm not really the best player at the game. I'm getting better, obviously, but like
Wait,
it's not.
you're
the
saying
game's
that you
fault.
can admit that there is something wrong with your playstyle and not with how the game is designed?
Oh my god, I know it's
Oh
pretty
my
hard confession.
god.
Yeah, it's
I don't see how
it's
you
really
practice yourself past the insane amounts of screen shake that
It's
Doom
really
Eternal
embarrassing.
has. Like, Jesus,
Doom Et-
even Planet
what
Screen
screen shake?
I have not a. There's no
What?
screen. There's like no screen shake in Doom Eternal.
What?
I mean, like, what did he talk? The camera's smoother in Doom 2016,
You
I
can
guess,
just.
but just barely. Yeah, you can just disable it. That's easy too.
I guess the only time there's screen shake is when a Baron of Hell, like, just jumps down, like, does his, like, a slam attack. But even then.
A slam.
Side 2 devs must think this is excessive. Okay, to wrap up the gameplay portion of this video, let's briefly go over the big whys. First off, why in a game lauded for being the granddaddy of all modern shooter games, which then revitalized the genre of single-player FPS 2 decades after its initial release, are we stopping between every fight to do 10 minutes worth of platforming challenges? All the
10 minutes?
It's not even 10 minutes.
Okay, see that clip? That took, what? 10,
Also,
20 seconds?
even though Doom 1 and Doom 2 are like some of my favorite games of all time, I will rip into them for having like a good 3 minutes of not knowing where the heck you're going.
And even then,
Like,
2016.
I find this more like this is more engaging.
Yeah,
Like platforming.
2016. That also had like stuff like this where you like jump on platforms and like walking through hallways with nothing going on. But
Oh
like
my
Doom Eternal does the
God.
same thing, but it does the same thing, but like more in a more way.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
The double jumps and monkey bars are really cool in combat if they happen to be part of your run away until you get more ammo circuit, but when the player has to stop the flow of gameplay to pause
You're
and figure out
using the
what order
dash
of
to
color...
run away and not in combat to dodge attack. What? That's what you mainly use the dash for? Run away?
I don't know, man.
coated
That's
ledges he's
just-
jump on in order to get to the other
If he
side.
jumps
It's
to that
just
bottom
not
platform,
good. This goes doubles in spots
Jump.
where the grips are a little...
you don't need to.
It's not good, man.
You can
not-
make that green jump. I was just playing this level before I started before I got
Yeah.
on the podcast.
You can usually make it.
You can just make that green jump.
sketchy. And big why. Why do we have timed target puzzles in Doom? It's like the platforming challenges, but more annoying. Third big why. Why in Shrek's Swamp do we have swimming challenge segments in Doom? They're like timed puzzles, but more annoying. All this stuff really doesn't help to sway the notion that this game is using Nintendo hard to pad.
There's like two.
I think
of
there's
them.
2.
Yeah, there's like 2 of them in the entire game.
I mean, I thought they were kind of out of place, kind of weird, but they're so.
Yeah, they're so minuscule with the green.
But they're mercifully short.
Yeah, they're pretty like that. The one he's showing right now, that maybe takes a minute. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Potentially.
That's being generous. Like, if you just like, sure, it's a bit out of place, but it's not really a problem because it's barely in the game.
Why is this guy talking about?
Seriously, according to Steam, it took me just over 14 hours to get from opening cutscene to credits, and I feel like maybe 6 or 7 hours of that was good, solid gameplay that wasn't bloat from the Nintendo hard or skipping through walls of lore text.
Wow.
He says there's 7 hours of platforming. Okay, that's just lying.
No, he says like 7 hours of gameplay that wasn't interrupted by like terrible Nintendo hard stuff. So probably like another 3 hours of like bad gameplay and then like 4 hours of or like maybe like 5 hours of bad gameplay and 2 hours of like platforming. I don't know.
I don't.
It's hard to gauge like what he thinks, how long he thinks the game is, considering 10 minutes of platforming is just entirely inaccurate. Like, or 10 minutes of platforming per section.
Yeah.
It's just entirely wrong.
Speaking of, let's talk about the story now. Okay, real quick, I'm not doing a full anti-sponsor segment for this video because I wasn't planning on making this video, and unlike Doom Eternal, I don't need a pad for time on this big boy.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's not even bad. Good God.
It's not even like
he like I know he's made this point before, like, oh, it's artificial difficulty, blah blah blah, blah Nintendo and all that, but like, dude, like, prove it, I guess, instead of saying it over and over again.
It's Nintendo hard, not really.
Bro, it's not even. I mean, like, no.
Plus, I bet he said he played difficulty. That
hardest
hurt me plenty is not very hard.
Easiest Nintendo game from the 80s era, still harder than Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
The anti-sponsor for this week is a certain mobile game that's very controlling about what their sponsees say, and it's nearly everywhere on YouTube because they throw buckets of money at everything and everyone. I'll take my dignity instead, thank you. End of anti-sponsor segment. Now, the story. The story feels...
What was that for?
He was just calling out Raid Shadow Legends, I guess.
Why? Like, yeah, sure.
Maybe it's like a running thing on his channel that we're not aware of.
I don't know. I'd really from this video. I'm not planning to check out more.
like, based on what Doom 2016 established, where our Doom guy literally throws away the exposition because he wants to get to the ripping and tearing. In Doom Eternal, Doom guy will just sit there while people exposit at him, including those who he needs to rip and tear right as they are well within ripping and tearing
He
range.
can't kill them at that point.
Possibly.
I don't know much of the lore, but even then, like, he can't kill them at that point. I think they're like protected by the con maker or something.
I will say personally, like I kind of enjoyed Doom Guy more in Doom 2016. Just like he just kind of feels like he feels a bit more just there in Doom Eternal. But Doom 2016, he just stomps the energy cells. He looks at the guy down on the floor, then punches the computer screen, cocks his shotgun, then he just goes to murder all of the zombies.
I think they're equal because in Doom Eternal, the UAC Mars segment where he just like walks through the base and the one guy's just sitting there with the card, and he just grabs it and like kind of chokes him.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then
I just kind of prefer like the no nonsense Doom guy from 2016. Just like I'm gonna murder and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go murder.
I kind of wish you got the plasma gun at that UAC place where you just like rips the gun out of the one UAC guy's hand, like in the beginning. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
But though then again, like the Doom Hunter, you kind of need the plasma rifle to take that out. So I can kind of. I
call you a smelly doo-doo face and teleport away, and then you're just gonna take that because otherwise we'd lose out on a third of this game's plot motivation. Seriously, Doom guy, the winter bulk has left you soft both metaphorically and literally. Next.
What?
That's a great shot right there. Whatever. They can't kill the dudes. The dudes.
Yeah, they're protected.
Can't
I'm pretty sure because Doom guy, if they weren't, he would just like
you just murder them.
Yeah. I would think Doom guy would murder one and just be like, okay, I'll just let you guys go. That's like robbing a house and then then be like, okay, you guys don't tell anyone. Got it? Okay. Just get back to the video. How much do we have left?
We have 8 minutes.
Oh boy.
Left.
Yippee.
Tui needs to bulked up considerably, where each one would give you about a paragraph's worth of text, which started as scientific analysis and then got wild by the time you got to part 3. Now it's all the third part, and there's a ton more of it. The backstory to one of the levels in this game is 12 different segments that are each 12 walls of text, and it all reads like a D&D campaign after the dungeon master elected to take intro to create.
You don't need to read that stuff. You're like, demons attack.
It's not really.
Yeah, demons attack this place. Okay. Like, you don't need to read any of that. Just.
Is he getting mad that the extra content is too extra?
Like, the thing about Doom is that, like, what I like about Doom 2016 did the same thing as Eternal, where the story's there. Like, there's a simple story. You have to kill demons, but then. Like, the game doesn't stop for the story. If you want the story, just go to the codex. That's what I like about the game. If you want one, just read it.
Yeah. You play Smash Bros. You don't gotta go to the vault and watch the trailer for the game. Just play the game.
Yeah.
Writing at an underperforming community college. Lastly, there's a lot of stuff that's brought up that's either entirely dropped or just undeveloped in the story. Why did that one guy have the charged up thing? And being vague to avoid spoilers for things that weren't in trailers, why is Samuel Hayden doing what he's doing now? What about Vega towards the end? What's gonna happen with that?
There's backstory for that in the codex.
Yep. Not that it's really important.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this is where they're at now. Okay. Like, I'll admit I did question, like, who's this guy? Why is he here? But I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just read the codex later.
Yeah, it's there for you to perceive.
He complains about exposition. You can literally just skip the cutscenes if you want. That's what I do most after my first playthrough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just skip the cutscenes, I don't care.
seems that no one was overly concerned with how they started acting after the events of the last game. There's a lot of stuff that seems like it might have been better to leave it out rather than leave it in
Nobody
an
plays
undercooked.
Doom for the story.
Well, we know it's not true.
I mean, like, the lore people, maybe, but, like...
No one except a certain Doom 3 guy likes the story.
Well...
I know that some of this is deliberately set up to be sequel breadcrumbs, just like there were in the first game, but in the last game it was subtle. Like, I didn't notice that this was sequel bait, but looking back, I realized that certain things in Doom 2016 were setting up for a sequel. But we gotta justify Doom 3 2, Doom Guy gets his movie rights back within the canon of this reboot, but sorta not really. Okay, let's get all of the nitpicky crap out of the way.
Not
So
a
here's the
reboot,
stuff
you
that I
idiot.
actually like.
Like, Doom 3, okay, that... I think the Doom community agrees. That's not in the main timeline. That's...
No, it's not.
Yeah, but, like, all the other games, up until then, have been, like, the same Doom guy. The Doom guy in Doom 1 is the same as in Scene or Eternal. And they even have a cutscene explaining that, where he's like, okay, he's about to die, and then the Seraphim gave him the powers to basically kill gods and stuff. And to kill demons, like, just endlessly. And, yeah. Like, you won't even need to read the code for that. That's a main cutscene in the game. Like, he's, like, focusing on some parts and then just ignoring it.
Yeah, and it's still just, like, kind of hitting point after point, just, like, shotgunning information.
Yeah, it's like he wrote down a
nitpicks.
bunch of bullet points and then just, like, said it. And then didn't expand.
Video, right? That's the entire thing.
Yeah.
About, first off, the stupid mandatory sign into your Bethesda account, which it turns out I already had one of those all along, and now I'm annoyed because I didn't get Morrowind for free because I didn't want to make one at the time, which it turns out I already had. It takes all of 30 seconds the first time around unless you're a dummy like me, and they're even willing to let you quote-unquote make an account from the login.
That's more of a you problem.
It's annoying.
I had to make one.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, he admits it, though.
Yeah, like... I had to make an account.
Like, yeah, it's pretty. Like, yeah, it's pretty easy unless.
Sure, you shouldn't really need to have it, but, like, it's not really a problem. It takes, like, 5 minutes at the most.
Yes, it's stupid. Yes, and I'd really rather have it not in here at all, but at least it's not Uplay or EA Origin levels of bad and obstructive. Also, while it isn't everywhere, there's a clear lack
He
of
got
polish.
something right, guys.
There's at times animation glitches if you run into things too fast, like previously mentioned. If there are too many enemies near you, they can knock you out of bounds. And would you like to enable sticky keys? And also towards the late game, I had a few crashes, and at times if you tab out of this game by accident or on purpose, you'll be met with a regular cursor stuck in the center of your screen that sort of spazzes out for a bit, and it just won't go away, no matter how many times you like.
Is it the only little glitch he's gonna show us? That one right there?
I will admit the game is a bit glitchy.
At times, but it's like that kind of seems like poor work, poor evidence showing.
Yeah, like I have examples. Like one time I was playing the master level in Art Comp or whatever, and one of the gates that disappear once you kill all the demons in the arena, it didn't just disappear, so I was stuck in there, so I had to reset to the last checkpoint. But
yeah,
even then they're not that common.
You tab out and again. Lastly, while this isn't a problem for you, Vulcan and Shadowplay do not get along well. Well, why not use the other recording thing? Because even though Vulcan is a very well optimized thing to the point of where you have to update your NVIDIA drivers.
Is he complaining that
recording software, I think?
What does this have to do with Doom Eternal?
I don't know. He did say he was getting into nitpick territory, but this just seems like he's talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about editing software, not Doom Eternal.
Shadowplay is Vulcan stuff. Why is it so hard to use on Doom Eternal?
if you really want to nitpick, oh, why does this enemy look different from 2016? Why? Like,
Star Wars Doom Eternal is the most disappointing thing since my son. And how much more could you possibly fuck up the look of all the demons in Star Wars?
Play this game, you're still pushing the limits of your machine.
What does this have to? Let's just keep going. Get past this point.
Pushing the limits of playing this, and alternative recording softwares like OBS tend to be resource intensive, so you won't be able to run both at the same time if you want a decent frame.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's like it optimized their engine so you can record footage.
They did. They had to create an entirely new this game.
Yeah.
Rate on your footage. Out of the 14 hours and change I played, I was able to get just under 4 of them properly recorded. This is more of a problem for me than it is for you though, as you're just playing to play. Okay, so when I looked at my footage and saw that I had nowhere near enough to fully make this video, I went back and replayed the game so that you'd have something to see. Which, if you see any crappy footage, that's because in order to make it play nice with OBS, you have to turn the game settings.
He probably doesn't have a good enough PC or something. Because I haven't heard anyone else complain about not being able to record gameplay.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I just don't really see what's a problem.
Things all the way down, and then you have to turn OBS's settings all the way down and do 30 frames per second unless you want something that looks like this. Why am I telling you this? Because this confirms my suspicions. When I look back at the 2/3 of the game that I re-recorded, it was only about 5 hours of playtime, effectively meaning that once you get past the difficulty and know how to get around Doom's Nintendo hard, Doom becomes a 6 to 7 hour game. Instead of a 14 to 20 hour game.
The campaign is like 6 to 7 hours
This is the
on
world
its own.
meaning that once you get past the
If you're
difficulty
doing
and
well.
know how to get around Doom's Nintendo hard, Doom becomes a 6 to 7 hour game instead of a 14 to 20 hour game. This is the world we live in.
The campaign is not 14 to
the
20
UAC
hours.
people are annoying and over the top to the point that it stops my suspension of
So this guy said that the game is 14 hours, and that's crazy long, and it's probably because of all this artificial difficulty they used to pad out the game. But now that you know how to get around this quote-unquote artificial difficulty, you're complaining that the game has now become a lot shorter as a result. That sounds like bullshit to me.
Even then, like, the game's not nowhere near 14 hours long. It's maybe 10 hours at the longest. Like,
yeah, I would be inclined to agree.
Yeah, at the longest. If it took him 14 to 20 hours, that's just sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's because he thinks there's like some sort of like, you know, the pigeons are watching over and making him play worse at Doom Eternal.
The later part of the game. It's not a big nitpick, but it's there.
Let's keep going.
I think it's a nitpick.
It's there. Now, a break from all this negativity and talk about what I liked about Doom Eternal for a bit. First thing that is great about Doom Eternal, everything that Mick Gordon was involved with. If Doom Eternal gets any awards in whatever is left of award season this year, I hope.
Okay, yes, the music's good. Let's just watch this.
The music is very good.
And like crazy
Like,
thing,
Mick made
Mick
some
Gordon
serious
didn't
weight
even
room
finish the
bangers
soundtrack.
for this game.
But yeah, it was too late, so they fired him. But even then, it's amazing.
It's probably my second favorite, maybe third favorite Doom soundtrack.
Yeah, it's really
I still don't know whether I still don't know whether I prefer Doom Eternal or Doom 2016 soundtrack.
Yeah, I prefer Eternals just because
Man,
of
it's
the
only a
only
week
thing
and I already
they
missed going
feel
to the gym.
that song is.
I think Doom Eternal's soundtracks are like better in a vacuum, but Doom 2016's like sync up with the gameplay better.
Yeah, that's agreeable.
Yeah, but my favorite's always going to be Doom 1.
The environments are gorgeous. Everything in Doom Eternal looks awesome, except for a certain shot of the final boss if you look.
Okay, yeah. For the
if you
final
look at it too
boss
closely. And it
design
made all those stupid platforming
is-
puzzles a whole lot more bearable because everything just looks so cool. One little space
I'm
tank.
actually gonna have to disagree on this point. I really don't like how Doom Eternal looks.
I mean,
Just personally, I just think the colors clash pretty annoyingly.
yeah.
I prefer. I don't like. I mean, I prefer like the. I just prefer the overall look of Doom 2016 over this one. Like,
For me, like,
so looking at the colors over there, you got like gold and ocean blue combined with like some weird purple. So like, that's not for me.
like, yeah, I can understand that, even though I don't really agree. I think it's mostly just the art style that, like,
Maybe. I mean, like
by
Doom
what they
2016, it was simple and it worked out. Like really vibrant colors because Mars was like really orange.
Mhm.
But then like you got inside the base and everything was kind of dingy and
Yeah.
like everything felt like it was kind of
Yeah.
like you had like all the UAC like paint.
Yeah, it's mostly
And
like a personal preference thing.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
personal. I mean, and graphically, the game looks just like it's super impressive. I just
Yeah.
don't like it personally.
Yeah,
Sanctuary
I get
was-
like color palettes not really being
Yeah.
your thing. Like
Not my thing.
Borderlands 1, like any of the Borderlands games, like
Time,
that
and
game
hell has never
graphically
looked
it's not bad. Like mostly because the cell shade art style ages pretty well, but
Yeah.
like the color palette in Borderlands 1 is ugly as fuck. And,
Yeah, I
like,
don't like it either.
but then Borderlands 2, it basically like it's not like a massive like graphic improvement, but like the environments are more colorful. There's just more other than desert,
Yeah.
and it looks so
Yeah,
much
I think
better.
I think we can all and then like we look at like Doom 64 and it's like
has looked
you
in
got
Doom
like
Eternal.
normal
Speaking
Doom
of the
setting which
Space
is like
Sanctuary thing,
brown,
Doom Eternal does a great job with
and then you got like the blue and green like rooms like the sci-fi element. You got that nice blend.
references and Easter eggs. It's definitely not too in your face, and they're all things that you'd only notice if you knew about it, and I stopped and laughed at quite a few of these. It seems that Doom Guy has great taste in practical reading. Too bad about literally everything else in his life. Finally, while they're few and far between, those rare moments when there aren't so many enemies that they get stuck trying to go through an archway at the same time, and the challenge is appropriate for the amount of ammunition and other resources you
Why is he using a rocket? Oh, it's
lot
so
of fun. This is why I'm so bummed
painful
about making
not
this
seeing
video.
him
They had a
switch
good
between
game with a
weapons.
perfectly balanced challenge at one point, but they
Like-
had to keep tweaking it and pushing up the enemy count until it was considered a good time if you can get through a late game arena.
Yeah,
by
you
only
were right.
circling
He's
around
just
a number of
using weapons until they run out of ammo. Automatically switches.
That's one thing, man. It's very much like ammo management is lost on probably because he plays too much Doom 2016 where you can abuse like a few weapons.
at one point, but they
Like
had to keep
3.
tweaking it and pushing up the enemy count until it was considered a good time if you can get through a late game arena by only circling around a number of times you can use your hands to count. Yeah, I'm sure it's cool
Imagine
to show the
circling
suits how many AI
around
bad
just
dudes you can
as-
put
like,
in one map
just
at any
because you're
given
out
time.
of ammo. That's just sad. That's sad.
And I'm sure that's going to be great for your Christmas bonus, but was it really worth it? Alright, so this video was really depressing to make. I was expecting better of the nice boys and girls at id Software, but Doom that's going to be great for your Christmas bonus, but was it really worth it? Alright, so this video was really depressing to make. I was expecting better of the nice boys and girls at id Software, but Doom Eternal was so disappointing that after completing it and assuring that I had enough usable footage to make this video, I've already uninstalled it. I really wish
That's sad.
Wow. And I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Wasted his money. Yeah.
You're
$60 for 14 hours of playtime that he mostly regretted.
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely wrong about all criticisms of the game.
Agreed. I just was like, unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
girls at id Software, but Doom Eternal was so disappointing that after completing
Like,
it and
if he
assuring
was
that I
someone
had
that,
enough
like, didn't
usable
really play
footage to make
games
this
like
video,
this,
I've
Like, he didn't really play, like, arena shooters and stuff like that. I can definitely understand, like, some of his criticisms, because even though they're wrong, they're understandable. Like, if he played games like, what are some good examples? Like,
uninstalled it. I
Call
really
of
wish it
Duty,
didn't have to be this way, but
Battlefield and stuff like that. Like, I can definitely...
Call of Duty Battlefield, I guess Titanfall? Not really Titanfall.
Well, no, Titanfall's, like, really fast. Like
There's a
Gears of War,
$90
like
Yeah,
gameplay games
game
that
to
are
buy
uh,
DLC that I don't think I'm
yeah.
going to like. By the way, I have no interest in multiplayer or challenge maps because if the strong suit of this game wasn't
Challenge
good to
maps?
begin with, I don't think I have any interest in the secondary parts of this game. If you were
What
still on the fence,
challenge maps?
I
Is he thinking of Snap Maps from 2016? What?
yeah, those aren't in anymore, which is a really
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah, that's
disappointment.
kind of disappointing. But even then, like
That
the
looks so cool.
multiplayer is actually surprisingly fun. Like I played
and you found this
Yeah,
video looking
it's-
for
yeah,
guidance,
I played
I'd
pretty
tell
decent.
you
I
not
played
to
a
buy it
decent
now at
amount
full
with,
price, but
General.
instead
Me and him like work together. Like I'll be the pain elemental, like summoning the marauder. So that's a really good. And it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun. Especially
Doesn't
when you're
beat
up
the,
against like an equal level player. It's not as good as
It
the
doesn't beat-
campaign,
in the
no doubt.
secondary
Like, it's
parts
still
of this
fun.
game. If you were
Like, it's
still
this
on the
little
fence,
secondary thing though.
yeah,
Like,
and I would say
playing
it doesn't beat OG Doom multiplayer servers.
Eternal, and you found this video looking for guidance, I'd tell you not to buy it now at full price, but instead to wait for the inevitable 50% off Steam sale come Christmas time. In the meantime, Doom 2016 is still a perfectly good game, and if you're looking for that over-the-top action romp, there's Dusk, and if you're looking for hammy action cheesy story goodness, I just got done replaying Resident Evil 4, which has aged like fine wine. Resident Evil 4 will run you 12 hours.
Oh, it was such odd ADR. The edge, like fine wine. I actually just didn't have enough time to record whatever. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 is really good. Like, I don't know about
I've
that.
not
but
played. I've only played
Action cheesy
Resident
story
Evil
goodness.
7, and
I just got done
I'm
replaying
not a
Resident
fan of
Evil
it.
4, which
But
has aged
I
like fine
always wanted to
wine.
like
Resident
check out the other Resident Evil games, but
yeah, it's not really It's not really comparable to
Yeah.
Doom Eternal though.
yeah,
Evil 4, 12 hours of time passed and has a much better flow of difficulty than Doom Eternal does. Also, it's got a ton of replay value thanks to New Game Plus bonuses. Maybe give these games a try if you haven't already. Okay, so that's gonna do it for me. I wasn't expecting
okay.
It doesn't even play Resident Evil 4 right.
video, but I'm a bit flushed for personal time as of late, so I can be a bit more ambitious than I usually am. Extra special thanks to all my patrons, and I'll see you guys, honestly, I'm not sure. After finishing Doom Eternal in the early afternoon, it took me just under 4 hours to do the first draft, a couple more hours for revisions, and recording and editing this has gone really smoothly, even with the cat screaming his tiny little kitty lungs out for more snacks. I also don't presently have to worry about getting to work or going to the gym for a while, so
I will
in the
say,
meantime,
at least these
stay
his
safe out there,
videos have
wash
like a
your
decent amount of. Like the editing's not bad. It's not like a blank screen.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
tiny little
Yeah, I
kitty
need
lungs out for
that
more
like
snacks.
pretentious
I
video
also
essays
don't
number
presently have to worry
25.
about getting to work or going to the gym for a while. So in the meantime, stay safe out there, wash your hands, try to find a way to get some proper exercise while the gyms are closed, and enjoy this cat video. Excuse me, sir, what?
Well, that was
That was pretty bad video.
yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't know. It's very surface level, but like
21
not like
kilotons.
obnoxiously
Sure.
surface level.
Yeah, 21 kilotons
Is this
video makes
I
this,
knew that wasn't comfortable.
look like
You're trying to
child's
fix
play.
yourself.
Oh boy.
It is a
Oh,
lovely day
God.
outside. And today is finally the day I clean the windows because there is literally nothing else to do.
Well,
But what is
I
this?
mean, it
Are
was
you
pretty
trying to
bad.
snuggle with Flamingo and Ingor?
I don't know. I don't really
Oh
have
my
much-
god.
I think his video is bad, but I don't know. At least he has.
I think it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really bad. Yeah. No doubt.
Well,
No.
I don't know. We don't really have much more to say. This was
Yeah.
bad video. This was like the.
Yeah.
It was like this was like this was our second or third Doom Eternal video.
Total.
I think it was our second now. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably next we'll probably either cover civvies or 21 kilotons if we're up for it.
Literally perfect.
The Replica wanted to cover Racevic's Doom soundtrack video. It'd be
Oh,
interesting to
God.
hear like a negative. It would be interesting to hear a negative take on something from Doom. I could play devil's advocate. You know, have a little discussion about
Yeah,
it.
that could be an interesting discussion.
I'd recommend you guys stay out of it though, because
Yeah,
that might turn into a
Yeah,
hellstorm.
I'll probably. Though, me and
After so
Replica,
many
like,
requests.
we're I don't know. We've kind of gotten over the whole thing. There's not really much.
Alright,
And
well, if you want to come on, I guess it couldn't hurt, but,
yeah.
yeah, well, Lupus, end the stream, I guess.
Yeah, well, that was enjoyable as it could be.
I suppose.
Yeah.
We'll see you all guys next time.
Yep, see ya.
KK in a wheelchair. KK in a wheelchair. He started off hating Charlatan. Now he doesn't really care. KK in a wheelchair. KK in a wheelchair. Damn, those moves are really huge. Don't just stare. Go and tear. KK in a wheelchair. KK in a wheelchair. He started out simping for Jade. Then he pointed out the blades. KK in a wheelchair. KK in a wheelchair. He may have done it with Bug Lady and get that thing known as
eggs. You better get out of his way. He's gonna roll over your grave. You better not show up to steal. Because KK is on a wheelchair.
X3 Nuzzles pounces on you, you woo, you so warm. Couldn't help but notice your heart from across the floor. The ruler of Outworld, and he wants them to obey his ways. But then he gets defeated by sassy pole lady and the Khan we've been promised said legendary to this day. Ends with KK getting bait and Shao Kahn getting blinded. He has his trusted minion Gru always ready and standing by. Aaron, Reptile. Wait, where'd they go? Did they die?
You better get out of his way. He's gonna roll over your grave. You better not show up to steal. Because KK is on a wheelchair.
Shiva gives him a back massage so that he can walk again. KK not in wheelchair. KK not in wheelchair. They go on their honeymoon and he brought his favorite pen. KK not in wheelchair. KK not in wheelchair. Shao Kahn then decapitates him.
Such wasted potential.
Shao Kahn just got into his He sent him down into his grave. He should have stayed in his decay. Because KK is not on a wheelchair.
TLDW, the game is overdone and poorly balanced. If you're on the Hello and welcome to Potential, the show where we discuss the wasted potential of our favourite plotlines. When you think of Raiden from Mortal Kombat, there are usually three distinct characters that come to mind. The wise Gandalf-esque mentor who guides Earth's heroes and succumbs to crippling incompetence in the hands of lesser writers.
I have no memory of this place.
The Snyder-esque darker incarnation who will go to any lengths to protect Earthrealm.
If we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. and the snarky doesn't give a crap wise ass from the movie and its spin-offs.
I don't think so.
But there is actually a fourth incarnation that predates all